Hey guys, welcome back to the Stack of Pancakes. I'm Michaela. It's Wednesday. And it's Pet Peeve Week. But first, before we talk about that, we need to have like a sit down. Okay? Because there are a couple of things that we need to talk about. First, I'm so busy. I have not even watched anyone's videos. Like, I haven't even watched Ian's video from last week. So, I'm a holy Batman. I'm sorry. I don't know. Also, the highlight of everything everywhere is that I am wearing Lego earrings. Lego earrings. Can you guys see them? Focus. There we go. Lego earrings. So that's these are awesome earrings. And then the most important thing today is I came home today and I had this in the mail. And basically it is a holiday card from Kayla. That's right. The Stack of Pancakes Kayla. It's like, cute moment of the day. I totally can't do that. Serena, can you teach me how to do that? If you don't watch our story so far, you should. In the inside, it says, wishing you all the magic and joy of the season from Kayla and Tim. So thank you, Kayla and Tim. I've never met Tim. I thank you nonetheless. Moving on. Pet peeves. Do we have 2 hours to watch Michaela talk about all of the things that irritate her about society? Is that what we're doing now? Is that do we have that? I don't know. So I've been thinking about this because I have thousands, millions, quadrillions. Is that even a number of pet peeves? And I will say that I did come to the conclusion that I can sum them all into one thing in one word, and that is people. There are some contributing factors like ignorance. Ignorance and stupidity. Those are two different things. Stupidity is like knowingly being stupid, and ignorance is like not knowing. Also, there is the refusal to take responsibility. There is just not using common sense. I mean, there are thousands of things that people do that annoy me. So I would say that on any given day, at any given time, I am annoyed by someone doing something that could be classified as one of my pet peeves. And that is no way to live. But that's how I live. I suffer because of people and their ignorance and stupidity. And I don't know. Okay. So, one of the things that I really hate, and it's a really big pet peeve, is stupid questions. And whoever that stupid person was that said there's no question that's a dumb question or a stupid question, he was a fucking liar, okay? Because there are things that are stupid questions. If you were standing outside your car and you have your keys in your hand and the door is locked, and you say, how am I supposed to get in? That's a stupid question. That's a stupid question. You unlock the door. That's a stupid question. I don't understand people who have unrealistic expectations, and they know that they have unrealistic expectations. Because if you have just astronomically unrealistic expectations, you know that those expectations are unrealistic. And also, retrospectively, people who are dreamers, you're not being productive. You are just dreaming your life away. That is not going to happen. Stop thinking about it and do something. If you have a dream and you are setting goals to achieve that and you are working toward it, then that is different. But if you're just dreaming about something that you'd like to do one day and you allow that to absorb your time, that is just frustrating. So that's a pet peeve. Also, pet peeve are people who think that they're superior or inferior, essentially. Like because you're a person and you're you and you're the only you that's ever going to be you, and when everything is all said and done, you are you and you're the only one who's going to make sure that you are taken care of. So you should know that you are neither superior or inferior to anyone else on this planet, and that you are you, and that's perfectly okay. And people who it bothers me, like, relationship-wise. People who post things on the internet, post things on Facebook and stuff like that about their life. Also, I don't care about your kids. I'm sorry, but I don't care about your kids. I chose not to have children for a reason. I don't want to know about yours. I don't care if they're sick. I don't care if this. And also, I take offense to the fact that you don't care if I don't celebrate the same holidays as you, or use the same prayer as you, or pray to the same God as you. You don't care, because it's all about you. And that's the problem with people. It's all about them. No one puts themselves in other people's shoes before they think, speak, act. None of that. That is a pet peeve. Ignorance, of course. Ignorance. Like, just flat out ignorance and refusal to use common sense. Also, and someone being an idiot. Also, I take offense to someone being a jackhole. Let me define jackhole for you. That is an ignorant idiot. A jackhole. Someone who also loudly and obnoxiously acts out of ignorance and makes themselves look like an idiot. I will give you an example. This happened to me today, and this is an example of everything that I just said in one human being. Granted, it was a large human being, but it was a human being, I think. So, I had to go to the Sprint store today, and it's located inside like an outdoor mall thing. And I pulled into the parking lot and I parked, and I have to cross like the road that's inside the parking lot. It's not like an actual road. It's just like the street, the aisle, what do you call that? It's inside the parking lot. Anyway, so I had to cross that from the parking lot to get to the store. And I'm getting out of my car, and when I get out of my car, I notice that right next to me is like the turn-in lane for the entire outdoor mall area. And there's a stop sign there when you come in. And there was a blue car stopped there and a little elderly man walking across the street in front of the blue car. And then I see the white Explorer whip in right behind the blue car. Not even like act like they're going to slow down, but start like viciously honking the horn, hanging out the window, screaming obscenities at the blue car in front of them because they're not going. Okay, there's several things wrong with this. You are a retard. And you need to stop acting like you are so important that you can't wait for 4 seconds, because that is a lie. There's no person on this earth that is so important they can't wait for 4 seconds. Not even the President of the United States. No one is that important. I'm sorry. And number 2, just stop. Because that's an elderly man that's trying to cross the street, and why are you better than him? Why do you want him to run? He's pretty much got a walker. He's old. Don't do that. So I see this happen, and I think to myself, God, what a jackhole. Or asscock, whichever you want to call them. It just depends on what your preferences are, and I don't even know if those words are PG, but if they aren't, I'm sorry, don't listen, plug your ears. Anyway, so I'm like, whatever. So I start to cross the little street thing that I told you about earlier, and I am starting to cross it, and luckily for me, the lady in the white Explorer turns right. So now she's headed toward me. She doesn't even try to stop. She doesn't even act like she's going to slow down. She starts honking the horn at me, the pedestrian, crossing the street in a parking lot to get to a store. Okay? She starts honking at me, screaming and yelling, and I'm like, these people deserve all of the bad things in the world to happen to them. These people are terrible. I don't care what happens to them. And frankly, they don't deserve to actually interact with other human beings who might have some sort of respect for themselves and society in general. So I, being the person that I am, stopped right in my tracks and turned around and stared right through the windshield at this lady. What's she going to do? Hit me? She's still honking, screaming, shouting, cursing. I'm just standing there staring at her. I don't say a word. I just stand there and stare at her. Gosh, she got so irritated. And I'm glad, because she deserved it. That is the epitome of everything that's pet peeveable of me. I loathe people who act that way. Also, the guy who is such a butthead and knows that he has to merge, but has to get 2 cars in front of you. And then he tries to merge, but he knows that he doesn't have room, but he's going to force himself in anyway because he's, again, a jackhole. And then everyone else has to, put on the brakes and stop because he is ignorant. I don't understand. People are ridiculous. It's self-entitled, ridiculous, not using common sense, I'm better than you need to do this, I have unrealistic expectations for what you do. Stupid. And people who say they're going to do something and they don't flip and do it. Why would you do that? Why would you even say that you're going to do it if you're not going to do it? Why not just not say anything? Because that's better, but it doesn't make you look as good. Also, if you know that you didn't do something, don't go lying and say that you did. And this goes for anyone in any situation, especially in your job, because it is 2012 and that will catch up with you. And eventually, somebody will realize that you have said you're going to do multiple things and then you did not do them, and then that will come back to haunt you in the end. You can't lie your way out of it. That's something else. Lying. Don't go lying your way out of it, because I'm not stupid and there are other people in this world that aren't stupid, and they don't care if you're a liar or an asshole or a jackhole or an asscock or whatever. They're going to tell you about it. Eventually, someone will tell you about it. And if you ever cross me, I promise you I will be that person. So it's a pet peeve of mine for that to happen, especially at work. Like, don't know what your job is. Okay, you have to know what your job is, and you need to do your job. But don't say that you're going to do something and then don't do it, and then pretend that you did your job. You can't keep doing that. For those of you out there who are listening that might need to know, you can't keep doing that. You just can't. Someone will eventually say, hey, you can't keep doing that. I'm saying it now. Just so you know. Also, at your family events or with your friends, don't say, oh, I'll call you back, and then don't call them back. Speaking of that, if I email you, do not send me an email 4 days later that's just a new email that you composed that is not attached to the original email that I sent you 4 days ago, responding to that email that I sent you. I don't remember what I sent you 4 days ago. I sent you an email then because I needed to know an answer then, more than likely. Don't do that, because now I have to go through my sent folder. That's bullcrap, because you should not shift your responsibility to me to find out what it was that I was talking about, because you can't respond to emails in a timely fashion. That is mind-boggling. Mind equals blown. That's just terrible. Don't do that. At least respond to it so I can easily scroll down and see what I was talking about. That just drives me nuts. Texting is the same way. Like, if I text you something and then don't respond to me 4 hours later, just responding to the text, because I don't remember what it was, and now I've got to scroll back up and read it, and I don't have time for that, because I don't have time for that. I sent you a text then for that reason. It's just... Also, people who don't think about something before they do it. Like, you don't think about it enough to ask all the pertinent information or ask all the necessary questions. Also, people who you've been having like this conversation with via email or text or over the phone, and then out of the blue they say something that's not completely related and like refuse to acknowledge what you said. That is a huge pet peeve. It just makes my brain crazy. Also, microwaves. Everyone's done this because people are impatient, and that's a problem. That's a pet peeve of mine. But if you go to the microwave and you use the microwave, when there's 5 seconds left on the clock, you take it out because you don't want to wait the extra 5 seconds, and you don't think it's going to make a big difference anyway. So when you take it out, you're done. Why would you not clear the 5 seconds off the microwave? Because some unexpected person is going to come in behind you and try to put their time on the microwave, and then they're going to have to try to sit there and figure it out, and it's going to have to process because they're on autopilot because they know how to put something in a microwave, and then it's a horrible experience, all because, again, someone shifted their responsibility onto someone else because they are an incompetent jackhole. Drives me nuts. Like, why are people like that? Can there be a way that I can live without having to interact with people on a date? Like, anyone. No person ever. I don't want to interact with anyone. Like, I want a surrogate that doesn't get hurt when something happens to it. But, like, a surrogate. I wouldn't live life recklessly or anything because of it. I would just live, Like, I need a surrogate to send to the grocery store so that surrogate can be there to deal with the grocery bagger who doesn't know that you should put the frozen food not with the laundry detergent. Why would you put it together? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You have one job, and that's a grocery bagger, and you can't even bag the groceries efficiently. It drives me nuts. Probably because he's sitting there thinking about his rap career. Like, stop dreaming and do your job, because this is reality. You have to do that to live because everyone else does. You're not entitled to anything. Also, Cats who won't leave things on the counter alone while you're trying to film. That is a pet peeve. Have I gone over enough? Is that good? Did we talk about enough? I think we did. I think we're good. I think I'm satisfied with that. Did I mention people who think their beliefs are superior to other people? That drives me nuts. Holidays in general drive me nuts. Yeah. I think religious beliefs can be categorized for me into the dreamers section. Is that bad? I don't know. I'm gonna watch people's videos now. And then I'm gonna go now because I could go on for hours. It could be like the Caleb word vomit fest of all things that bother me. Tags in people's shirts, out. I would totally tuck a stranger's tag in. That bothers me. Like, I could just go on and on and on. Instead, I'm going to tell you to subscribe if you haven't, so you can watch everyone else's videos, even though I haven't. And then I'm going to tell you to check us out on Facebook and like us there. Follow us on Twitter. Check out our Google+. Come back next week, because I'll be here talking about something else. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Every week I say that I can't find the thing to turn this off, because I minimize it, and now I'm just